Let me start off with a question. Guys, how many jobs have you applied in the last 3 months? Less than 5, 10, or maybe around 20? Now, after putting so much effort in finding relevant jobs, applying to them, wouldn't it be nice to get a handful of interview calls? Well, in this video, we are going to show you how to maximize the conversion of your job application into interview calls using AI. During the course of the next 10 minutes or so, will literally help you be the exact candidate the recruiter is looking for by carefully curating your job applications with the power of AI tools. And by the way, this video is part number 3 of our ongoing AI tools for career growth series. In part 1, we showed you how to make an impactful LinkedIn profile using AI tools. And in part number 2, we discussed how to create a powerful resume leveraging the power of AI tools. Do check them out. The link to the 2 videos is in the description. So on this note, let's get started. So at this point, let's spend a moment to understand the hiring process in terms of numbers. On an average, recruiters get 250 applications for a single job. Of these, 4 to 6 applications are selected and called for interview, and only one ends up getting the job. Guys, that's the size of competition you are up against when you are applying for a job. Now, before we discuss the factors that guarantee you success across this funnel, first let's understand how recruiters go about hiring candidates. For example, let's say a recruiter is looking to hire a data analyst. First thing she would do is to design a thorough job description and putting it out on leading job portals like LinkedIn, Naukri, Glassdoor, etc. As per this job description, recruiter is looking for certain skills, which could be proficiency with data visualization tools such as Excel, Power BI, Tableau, or programming languages such as Python and SQL. On top of the skills, this recruiter also has additional filters on the years of experience, relevant work in similar companies, past projects, etc. And based on all of these filters, recruiter prioritizes which candidates to finally call. Now, as a candidate, you may have all these required skills, relevant work experience or projects, but if your job application doesn't reflect that well enough, you are not getting the interview call. So my tip to you here would be to focus on the quality of your job application than on the quantity. And the limited number of jobs you do apply to, make sure your application is well researched and tailored to the job description shared. Remember, idea here is to be the exact candidate the recruiter is looking for. So here's your first step to tailor your job application, and that is to tailor your resume for the job you are applying for. And we'll be doing that using our not so old friend ChatGPT. Resume is a mandatory piece of document that you submit while applying for a job, right? According to a leading job portal, when candidates take the time to tailor their resumes to the specific job description, they reduce the chances of rejection by a thumping 54%. Submitting a tailored resume is a clear indication that you have done your research on the company and studied the role you are applying for. Now let's see how you can tailor your resume using ChatGPT. First thing first, let's head over to ChatGPT. So this is the URL that you have to go to. I'm sure you would know this by now. For this demonstration, I'll be using this particular resume I prepared using ChatGPT in one of our previous videos. And moving on to the prompt, and this is the prompt that we have written for getting our resume tailored for a specific job application that you are applying to. Let me take you through what we have over here. First of all, we are asking ChatGPT to act as an expert resume advisor. The entire task that ChatGPT would perform for us is divided into 2 stages. First one I'm calling as the primary task, and second one is the secondary task. As part of the first task, first ChatGPT will ask us for the resume text. Resume text is basically I'll select all, copying the text from the resume, and I'll paste it on ChatGPT. So that's resume text. And once we provide the resume text, ChatGPT will give us a list of roles for which this particular resume has a high likelihood score of selection. And in fact, ChatGPT will return a table having all of these job roles that have a high likelihood of selection along with their percentage likelihood of selection score. So this basically will help you understand if your current version of resume is apt for the role that you are applying, right? So this will be the primary task. Moving on, as part of the secondary task, let's say the job role that you intend to apply to is low in this list of likelihood of selection roles. Then what we want to do is we want ChatGPT to suggest us improvement pointers. So these are those improvement pointers to tailor our resume to a specific job description that we'll be providing to it during the course of this secondary task, right? So at this point, let's copy this prompt and feed it to ChatGPT. We'll see this entire process in action basically at this point. So as I said, first thing first, ChatGPT is asking us for the resume text. For that, what do? We head over to the resume that we have, select all, copy the text, come back and feed the resume text. So these are the roles which ChatGPT thinks have a high likelihood of selection score for this version of resume that we currently have with us. And the thing is that this person wants to apply for a data analyst role, and ideally this number should have been higher, right? Now, how do we make it higher is the next big thing that we have to think of. Now, how do we make this number higher is by tailoring the resume for the data analyst role. So to help us with that, as a secondary task, ChatGPT is asking us to provide the specific role we want to tailor our resume to. And if we have a job description in mind, that also we may fed to ChatGPT in the next step. So first of all, let's specify the job role that we have in mind, which is data analyst. Now it says if you have a specific job description for a data analyst role, please share it as well. Now this is the role that I have with me at this point. It's with a company called Genpact. I'll just copy this entire job description and feed it back to ChatGPT. Let's do that. Now, as you may see, we have received feedback from ChatGPT section by section on our resume on how we can achieve a high likelihood of selection score on our resume suiting to the role of data analyst. The thing is, as a fresher, you would have all the skills required for the job, but you do not know how to put them well on your resume, and that's why the selection score is low right now. Once you have this feedback on tailoring your resume, you may also use ChatGPT for rewriting your new resume. I'll strongly recommend you to watch this earlier video of ours in this AI Tools for Career Growth series to know how it's done. Remember, the recruiter is looking for a resume which has all the skills that are required for that job. Additionally, you may want to manually add all the certifications you have done or competitions you have won. And this tailored resume of yours now surely increases your chances of a callback. Next up, let's move on to creating a cover letter, again using ChatGPT. Alright, you must be wondering what is the use of a cover letter in 2023? After all, in majority of the job application, it is optional, right? Wrong. Let me bring up some data over here. In a survey done on 200 recruiters, 83% said that they prefer an application with a cover letter. Moreover, even if submitting a cover letter is optional, 77% of recruiters will give preference to candidates who did send a cover letter. As you can see, that optional cover letter is pretty much mandatory for you to get your next call back. So how to write the perfect cover letter? Well, let me show you step by step, something we love doing by now. First, go to ChatGPT in one tab. Keep your resume ready as well. We'll be using this resume today. And in another tab, we'll keep the job we are applying for open. Now let's go back to ChatGPT, use this prompt. I'll keep a link to this prompt in the description part again. Let us see what we are doing here. First, we are providing the name, then the resume, followed by the job we are applying for, and finally, any additional information we want to add. So first, put the name. Then ChatGPT will ask you your resume text. Let's go to our resume, copy the information and paste it here. After this, ChatGPT will ask for the job description. Let's say we are applying for a data analyst position in Genpact via LinkedIn. First, we go to the description section, copy the information provided and paste it. You can also add the hiring manager if needed. Now, ChatGPT will ask for any extra information. So Pooja has this YouTube channel where she makes videos on data science content. And I think this will be a good addition to the job application. But if you do not have any additional information, you can just type no additional information. Once you put this extra bit of information, wait for ChatGPT to write you a cover letter. And voila, your cover letter is now ready. However, there is a lot more you can do with ChatGPT. For example, you can reduce the overall length of the cover letter you have written. Maybe your presentation style is conversational. You can tailor your cover letter to that. You can even add a quote to be unique with your approach. Do this for all the jobs that you have shortlisted. With the help of AI, you can now write the perfect cover letter in less than a minute. However, do not just copy and paste. Remember to add your own touch to it. For example, adding a brief about your personality and the kind of work you have enjoyed doing previously. The more unique your cover letter is, the better are your chances to impress the employer. And you know what that means? A callback each time you apply. Well, there are a few more things you can do to stay ahead of the curve. So here's my bonus tip number 1. In a job search engine such as LinkedIn, there are thousands of people applying for the same job. And your prospective employers will go through only a part of these applications till the time they make their hiring decision. For example, let's say out of 2,000 applications, they go through the first 500, make the hiring decision with these 500 and discard the remaining application. Now, to tackle such nuances, you need to ensure you are among the first few candidates applying for the role. And how do you do that? There are typically 2 ways. Firstly, you could set up general LinkedIn alerts. As soon as there is a new job posted in the domain of data analytics for your chosen location, you will get an email alert from LinkedIn. Secondly, let's say you are looking for a job in a specific company as a data analyst. For that, you go to companies page on LinkedIn, click on the specific job, and create a job alert for the role you are looking for. Additionally, you can give your preferences as well. If you follow these steps well enough, surely you would be the first one to apply for your dream job. Moving on, here's my bonus tip number 2. Let me begin with a story over here. I know someone who was applying for a certain position. That individual was competing with thousands for that coveted role. But that person took one step that changed everything. Can you guess what that was? This person used the power of community. How, you may ask? Well, this person searched for people working in similar role in her target company on LinkedIn and connected with them. Thereafter, she talked to them about company values, technical skills that are needed, and their level of proficiency which is required. With this, she validated if she was a good fit for the role at all and became aware of the skill gaps that would be filled on immediate basis on her end. This entire exercise gave this applicant an idea of what the company wanted and where she stood. So the moral of this story is you can always look for advice from people already working in your target companies. This advice will only make you a stronger candidate. And on top of that, if you build a strong professional network on LinkedIn, let's say, you might also get referred for a job. And statistically speaking, referrals increase the chances of a successful job match by 4%. So there you have it. Remember, a recruiter always wants to hire what's best for the company. So getting an interview call depends on how optimized your application is for the role you are applying to. And in this video, we showed you how you can do that with the help of AI tools. If you have come across an interesting AI tool or some general do's and don'ts around getting interview calls, do share them in the comment section below. The next frontier is to crack those interviews once you start getting interview calls. And we'll soon be back with another video on how you can crack your interviews with the help of AI tools. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you get notified whenever our next video is live. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.